Welcome to another 24-hour readathon, guys. Obviously, I didn't do an intro for this. It was so last minute because yesterday I finished the previous vlog and I wasn't sure if I was going to finish in time in order to get enough sleep to wake up at like 6 this morning to start this readathon. As you saw in the intro, I started with The Hunger Games. I, as an adult, haven't read this, or as a child actually. This came out in 2008, and at that time I was 19 years old, or turning 19 years old depending on which time of the year this came out. Unfortunately, I wasn't into reading back then. I read a little bit, put it that way. I read a little bit, like 1 or 2 books a year. I wasn't as avid of a reader as I am now, so this wasn't part of what I read. Like most people say they read this when they were 12 or whatever. I was 19. This was not what I was reading at the time either. Like 50 Shades of Grey and all of that was what I was reading. Definitely not this. I watched all the movies though. I absolutely loved them. That's where my love for dystopia also came from. I love dystopian novels. This is I know it's a cult classic, but this is my first time reading it and I thought I'd just give it a chance because I saw it at my local library. I don't need to explain what The Hunger Games is about. You know, it's a dystopian novel. You know, Katniss Everdeen and Peter Millar and the district and the capitals, and you know the story. You know the story. I know you do. And also I probably would butcher it if I tried to explain it in my own words. I am enjoying it. It's actually a lot more detailed than the movie is, obviously. We all know that, but I just didn't know how detailed, and they actually left a lot of good parts out of the movie so far of what I've gotten from this. The movie could have been 3 hours long and I would still watch it. I absolutely love these movies. They're like my comfort movies, and I think Jennifer Lawrence is amazing at Katniss. Katniss in the book is a little bit more immature, I guess. I didn't realize that she was only 16. I didn't know what happened to her father because that wasn't really described in the movie either. So that's very interesting, discovering this other side about her. Gale isn't mentioned as much. I feel like we saw more of him than we did in the movie. Peter. So I know there was this huge argument online. I think it was last year or the year before. I get very confused. But that whole argument with Peter over Gale came up, and like Ali Hazelwood was like dissed for it or whatever. Honestly, like from just the movies, I was a Gale fan all the way, but Peter's described very differently in the book. I feel like in the movie they did him a little bit of a disservice and he was kind of standoffish, and I don't know, it was just different. I was personally not rooting for him during the movies, but in the book I can understand how people would root for him a little bit more. Having a good time. Senna is also described very differently from what he is in the movie. I like him in the movie and I'm still getting to know him in this. Also, Hamish's character is tamed down in the movies, where in the book he's like a proper drunk, falling over, puking everywhere, like disorderly, in my opinion anyway. I've just reached page 103, chapter 8. Probably should have said that a while ago, and I actually haven't stopped my timer. I need to do that now. I'm also listening to the audiobook. Sorry, I have a crack on my screen once again. So we are at 22 hours and 2 minutes, so that means we've been reading for 2 hours. For 100 pages, 2 hours, that's actually not good at all. That's very slow on my part. I'm just getting into it. I thought I'd just give you a quick TBR. Obviously we have The Hunger Games, which I started first. I just thought it might be something easy and gripping for me. In no particular order. We don't know what we're gonna feel like. We don't know what we want to read. I have a variety of things here. Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover. Got a bunch of Colleen Hoover books from a charity shop. They're really, really affordable, and I haven't read a lot of her backlist, and I don't want to make like an independent video, so I thought it would be good to have to do it in something like this, like a 24-hour readathon. Might do that. But this is the first book we have on the list. Then this is another book I got from the charity shop, which is quite interesting. It's called Frozen Charlotte by Alex Bell. It is supposed to be, I think, a thriller or a horror. It says Dunvegan School for Girls has been closed for many years. Converted into a family home, the teachers and the students are long gone, but they left something behind. It's supposed to be like a little thriller with kids, and I thought that would be interesting. I don't know anything more about it. Daisy Darker by Alice Feeney. As you know, I read my first Alice Feeney last year, which was Beautiful Ugly. Absolutely loved that book. I thought it was absolutely great. So I got another one. I also got Rock, Paper, Scissors out. I thought I want to read this one because it's a large print book, so the font is nice. So I thought we'd add this one in for our readathon. I don't know what it's about though, to be honest with you, but I'm very excited because I do like Alice Feeney and I wanted to read some more of her books. books this year, 5 Broken Blades. This is a fantasy by Mai Corland. I don't know exactly what this is about, but I do also have this on my Kindle, and I thought it might be fun to just throw in a little fantasy. I do also have the sequel to this book, so I have why am I struggling with this? I have the first book on my Kindle. I wanted the physical because it's sometimes just nice to read on a physical thing. Sometimes it's also nice to go between your Kindle and this. So yeah, and then I do also have one book on my Kindle, The Intruder by Frida McFadden. I read this on the airplane. I think I am like 5% through this on the airplane. It sounded so weird, but yeah, on my travels home from the UK, I picked this up and I did get to 5%, so not very far in. I told myself I wasn't going to read much more Frida McFadden this year, just because it's like, I'm always just so disappointed because I've been writing books for a while now and she churns them out really quickly, and you'd think they would get better, but they all just blend into one and are kind of similar with different types of protagonists and professions, but the storyline is ultimately the same. Those are all the books that we have in today's little readathon. We're going to be doing 12 hours if we can. I've been really exhausted after traveling and a lot of stuff going on with me at the moment, so I might have to do like 10 hours today, 10 hours tomorrow, and then we'll do 4 hours on the third day. It is currently 8:10 in the morning. I think I'm going to read until 9, then I'm going to go out on my morning walk at 9, do a little bit of a workout when I get home, and then we will continue. Okay, so I finally reached 60% of the book. We are on, I don't know if that's going to focus, 19 hours and 52 minutes. So we've been reading for 5 hours and 8 minutes. Maths isn't my strong point, as you all know. I've just reached page 233, chapter 18 over there. I'm still having a good time. The series of events are different in the book than they are in the movie. I was very confused because I did go for a quick walk as well, and listening to it because I didn't have the actual physical book in front of me, I was really confused, and I was like, surely this doesn't happen now, and surely that didn't happen that way. Like when Rue helped her with the bites that she has, the tracker jacker stings, with that part, that didn't happen the way it did in the movie. So it's very interesting to see this. I really do love Rue's character. I loved her in the movie, even though she wasn't a huge part. She definitely plays a bigger part in the book than she does in the movie, and I really, really liked her character. At the moment, Katniss is just doing her Katniss thing as she does. Like, she's just trying to survive, trying to, you know, make it out of this. She hasn't reconvened with Peter yet, and I'm excited to see how that goes, because in the movie it was equal parts him and her. It was like going back and forth, kind of what they were both going through and kind of linking them up in between. But I feel like this is just from Katniss's point of view, so we don't see as much from the other characters. I liked seeing in the movie what everybody else was up to, and you got to see which tributes were left, but now it's really confusing because it's like, oh, tribute from 1, 2 from 2, and I don't know what they look like just off the top of my head, but in the movie you get glimpses of them, which is quite interesting. So for now, they're just numbers, they're not actually people, if that makes sense. But yeah, I'm having a good time. I feel like if I had read this back then, it might have been better. I know people reread this and still give it a 5-star, but I don't feel like it's a 5-star. I don't feel like the writing is that good. Like, I love the descriptiveness, but I feel like it's very like short to the point sentences, and the chapters are really long. So that like matter-of-fact way of writing can get a little bit monotonous for me. Time seems to be going really fast. It's only 10:30 right now. I'm getting really tired as well. I'm like, should I have a nap? But not yet. If I'm gonna take a nap, it will definitely be in the afternoon. I think this is a good book. I don't know what I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna have to tell you guys at the end. I don't have an inkling of how I feel, because obviously I kind of know what happens at the end because I've watched the movies, but at the same time maybe it could hit differently. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. But anyway, I seem frazzled as well. I seem really frazzled. Like, you guys probably won't see this in me editing, but I definitely said a lot of times during this little checkup, because I don't think I really know what to say, because on one side of things I don't want to spoil in case you haven't read or watched the movies, but by now surely every single person has seen the movies and read the books, because there's so much hype behind it. So I'd be surprised if you haven't read or seen the movies. Let me know down in the comments if you've read or seen these movies, or if you haven't, actually. If you haven't, because that's a diamond in a dozen. But I haven't read the books, but I have watched the movies, so it's nice to just, I don't know, see it from the other side. And it is obviously better to read the books because there is so much more detail and so much more feeling in it. if that makes sense. But I am also just a much more visual person. But anyway, so I'm not done yet, but I just got to chapter 25, page 334. And what the hell is going on with these mutts? Like, I didn't know that. They didn't even say that in the movie. So that was weird. That was weird that they resemble old players. I don't know if that's a spoiler, but what the hell is going on there? That is so weird because what? I'm confused. I'm completely confaculated. That came out of left field and I really didn't expect that at all. Weird. Weird, weird, weird. How have they done that? So they have experiments, right? And they have mutations, but I think that's only in like the third movie or something, is it not? I'm so confused. Mutants or mutations? That's pretty crazy because this is not how the movie ended at all, of course. That makes sense. I mean, it doesn't make sense, but in the grand scheme of things, not quite yet. Oh God. That's the ending, I know. Just like I thought. Oh my goodness. Hi guys, where's my phone? That is the question. Here it is. I just finished Hunger Games about 5 minutes ago. I was just potting around, cleaning up after myself, and then trying to figure out what book I want to read next. But we are 17 hours and 39 minutes in, so that means it took 6 hours and 20 minutes or 21 minutes to finish the Hunger Games. Like I said, I'm going to leave all my ratings to the end. I didn't show you my timer just in case you don't believe me. That's what we have left on the timer. All my ratings will be left until the end of the video, so please do stay tuned. I'll probably just put like a timestamp for the ending if you want to know all the ratings. I had fun reading this. Obviously it's so intense. It is really intense, really emotional, like the movie is. I didn't cry in it. I cried in the movie for sure, but not in the book. I loved all the extra details that we got. It got a better understanding of what was going on because I feel like a lot of details were left out in the movie, but I'm really, really excited to read the next book and kind of just finish the series and then watch the movies alongside it. I think that would be a better experience. I should have known, but back then, like I said, I wasn't into reading books like this anyway. Happy with this, but ratings till the end. I decided on the next book that we're going to read is going to be Daisy Darker, and darkness runs in the family. I have no idea what this is about. It says, Daisy Darker's family were as dark can be. When one of them died, all of them lied and pretended not to see. Okay. So this is like one by one or until there was none. Is that what it's called? Till there was none? Something like that. But it's like one by one, they all get picked off. Something like that. Sounds more like a mystery than it is an actual thriller, but let's see. Sort of like a Nancy Drew book. I do love Alice Feeney. Like I said, I've only read one book from her, so we'll see. This will be a true testament to see if I really like her book. This is going to be the next book we read. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it can take us the next 5.5 hours. Fingers crossed, 5.5 hours. Then that will be 2 books done today. Hi friends! So I finally just did my outro for my other video, got ready first, did my outro, and then I read some more. I want to pause the timer. We have 15 hours and 43 minutes on the clock, and that makes it, I can't do math. Oh my gosh, my heart. So we're 8 hours and 15 minutes in, and I just reached page 107, chapter 15 in Daisy Darker. It is more of like a murder mystery where everybody's getting picked off one by one, and I think it's either then there was none or then there was one. I'm not entirely sure. So we follow Daisy Darker and her family, and they have gone to this little island, Seaglass, the house where her grandmother lives, and it's her grandmother's 80th birthday. But her grandmother grandmother has always believed that she's going to die when she's 80 because she had her fortune told or palms read or something like that, and they predicted that she would die when she turned 80. They've all gone to her grandmother's house for her 80th birthday, and they haven't all been together for a long time. So it's Daisy and her two sisters, Rose and Lily. Lily has a daughter named Trixie, and then their mom, Nancy, dad, Frank, and one of their childhood friends named Connor, and they're there to celebrate Granny's birthday. But Granny's birthday is actually on the 31st of October, but what is happening right now is taking place on the 30th. At midnight or in the middle of the night, they hear a scream, wake up, come downstairs, and someone has been murdered, and then someone else has been murdered. So they're trying to figure out who's doing this, and they've left them like clues and riddles and videotapes and like home videos, and it's kind of pointing fingers at different people. It's quite interesting, but it's really fun. I hope that made sense, but that's kind of what's happening without being too spoilery. It's definitely not a thriller. Like I said, it's not like suspenseful and like making me scared or anything, but it definitely is a mystery because one by one these people are getting picked off and you don't know who's going to be next. Quite interesting. They are a very dysfunctional family, which is why this is all happening to them. The dinner that they had the night before her birthday, she decides to read her will out to them. She's basically left them nothing. She's left everything to her great granddaughter, and she's left them like one of the daughters got like a drinks cart and her son got like piano or something like that. It's really random. No, he got her clock collection. So like it's very random, and like Daisy got left like money but only for charity. So none of them got anything. So it's looking like they were looking for revenge because they were left out the world. Very, very interesting. Having a good time so far. It's gone by pretty quickly, but also I don't know how we just reached 15 hours. Well, 15 hours and 43 minutes. That was very, very quick. I usually check in a lot more. I do like normally like every 2-hour check-ins, but I think that makes my videos too long. So that's why I'm checking in like 3 times during a book, like the beginning, so I get initial thoughts, tell you what it's about, how I feel, and then like 60%, and then at the end again. And yeah, I think that's working out, but we'll have to wait and see. Let me know down below which format you prefer. But anyway, I'm gonna keep reading. So we just reached 60%. I'm on chapter 31, page 225. It's potting along. It is going back and forth in time as well. There's like time jumps where she's like looking back and reminiscing about things that are being brought up during this whole mystery, trying to find out who's killing them. It's getting a little bit annoying and it's frustrating, and it seems like the 3 sisters had a lot of competition between them, and because the 2 older sisters were closer in age, they were closer than Daisy, who was the youngest, and she was quite spiteful as a younger sister. She was doing stuff. It's normal. I've had that stuff with my sister as well, where we just clashed all the time. It is getting a little bit monotonous, just like they'll mention something and then be like, oh, that was 1986, and then she'll jump back to what happened in 1986, and like it's just getting a little bit tedious now. Other than that, it's plodding along. I kind of have an idea of who I think the culprit is, and I think it's one of 2 people. It's someone in the house, or it's someone who used to be friends with the family. That's my guess right now, but I'm not entirely sure. We're still missing one person, and we don't know where they are. They've now locked themselves in a room so they can see like everybody, and like every hour from midnight someone was going missing, but now they've been together for a whole hour and no one's gone missing. So obviously that means it should be someone in the house, or it could also be someone outside the house and not being able to access them altogether. So trying to put together this mystery. We have 13 hours and 40 minutes on the clock, so that means we probably have an hour and 40 minutes to read. So I'm gonna hopefully finish that, and then I need to do some editing and stuff anyway tonight, so I'll stop reading then and we'll start fresh in the morning. Like I said, I do have a doctor's appointment tomorrow morning, so I might have to, well, I will definitely have to leave for like an hour or so, but hopefully we can find an audiobook that we can listen to during that time. So I am checking in right now and it's quite late on. It's already 10:30 and I've made it to 9 hours and 17 minutes. I think that would give us about approximately 3 hours of reading that I did this morning. So I did finish Daisy Darker last night. I really did like it. I find her plot twist so unexpected. Like what happened at the end, I didn't expect at all. Not from a mile off. I know I suspected 2 people. I thought it was someone in the house, someone out the house, but not in a million years would I have guessed what this plot line ended up being, or the plot twist ended up being. Absolutely loved it, but like I said, leaving the ratings to the end, so do stay tuned. Also, I'm not wearing any makeup. Went for blood test. My blood sugar went really low, so I ended up having to go for breakfast somewhere and just like getting some more fuel in because they took like 6 vials of blood for me. That's why I look the way I look. I also didn't sleep well last night. I think I went to bed at like 10 and then I woke up at around 3:30 and then couldn't go back to sleep until 5:30, and then my alarm went off at 6 and then I tried to snooze till 6:30 and a whole thing. So I'm exhausted and it's a 24-hour readathon. I'm always exhausted the second day around. But yeah, absolutely loved this. Then I started up. I really didn't think I'd get as far as I did. I started Ugly Love because I found an audiobook or free audiobook for this. So I thought that would be great for my drive to the hospital, in the waiting room, and then coming back. Then I ended up going for breakfast as well. So it was a blessing in disguise. So I did a little bit of immersive reading as well as listening to audiobook. And I've just reached page 143, chapter 17. I think I might be a little bit further because I listened to one chapter now on my way home, on my drive home, but I can't remember where I got to. But yeah, I think I'm a little bit further. I might be at, I think I'm closing on to the end of this chapter, and I just turned it off because my mom and I had to do something because there's like a bunch of fires around my area. So I think I might be at page 163. This book is weird. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it, put it that way. So we have 2 characters. Obviously we have Tate, our female character, and we have Miles. So Miles has these flashbacks in his chapters and it feels like he went through somewhat of a rough time. His mother passed away when he was younger and his dad moved on pretty quickly. From what I can surmise, it was even before his mum passed away. He's hated his dad for this. But during all of that, a new girl comes to his school and he's in the office and they asked him to just hang around and wait for this new girl so he can show her around. He ends up falling in love with her and it ends up that his dad is actually dating her mom and that's why they've moved to town. But he's like obsessed with her. But this is in the past when he was like in high school. And then they make this deal between them because it's weird, like step siblings hooking up. They make this plan to like just see it through until like their parents get married, and once they're married they'll no longer carry on what they're doing. So they make all these rules and they see each other. But Miles is like in love with her, like actually in love. I don't know how it ends up, obviously. But then we have Tate, who is Corbin's sister, and Corbin and Miles are friends. They're both pilots, so they work together. They also live in the same building across from each other. And Tate has just moved in with her brother Corbin because she is doing her master's in nursing. So she is a nurse already. She works as a nurse practitioner. She is now doing her master's, so she's going to school as well as working. So she is staying with her brother to save money. Her brother's super protective of her, but her and Miles, at first they don't like each other. It's not love at first sight or anything like that. There's a weird like meet cute between them because he's passed out drunk in front of her brother's door the day that she moves in, and he's like a little bit creepy and he keeps mentioning this Rachel girl's name, which is his ex. The 2 of them end up hooking up, they kiss. He doesn't want any attachments, but she doesn't really either because she wants a career and her ex-boyfriend didn't allow her. He wanted her to be a stay-at-home wife. She didn't want that. She wanted her own career. So Miles also just doesn't want to be in a relationship because I feel like he's still caught up on Rachel, and the 2 of them are now just hooking up casually. And I think that's why most people didn't like it, because a lot of people I know don't like casual hookup stuff, but I don't think it's that taboo and I don't think it's disgusting. I think you got to take care of your needs either way. If you don't want any strings attached, that's your prerogative. It's not bad. It's very easy to read, but it's average Colleen Hoover's writing, isn't it? It's very surface level. So I am like basically halfway through. It is currently, did I say 10:30 in the morning? I was going to do washing, but because of all these fires, my washing will smell. So I'm just going to leave that alone. I'm exhausted. So we'll see how far we get. Hi guys, so I look a little bit worse for wear. Oh my gosh, I'm exhausted. I am actually so tired. So I didn't check in for a second check-in with Ugly Love because it's so predictable, so freaking predictable. I did like it though. I really did enjoy it. I liked the story. I thought it was one of her better books. I know it has a lot of smut in it, which a lot of people didn't like, but I thought it was fun. It's up there with some of my favorites, but I don't think it has like the higher rating that I used to rate her books back when I just started out reading, like Regretting You and Reminders of Him. Absolutely loved those books, but like I said, it was because I just started reading again. But this is up there with them. I really enjoyed it. I loved both characters. I wouldn't say love, but I understood them and I relate to both characters very much. So I had a fun time reading it and I liked the outcome of that. That's all I'm going to say for now. Again, rating at the end. I've been thinking, we have, where's my timer? 6.5 hours left on the timer, right? I don't know if that's focusing. So 6.5 hours left of this readathon. I'm tired. I don't even feel like we're gonna finish this all today. I'm so tired. I need to have a nap at some point or go to bed at least early. I don't think I'm gonna be able to read 5 Broken Blades. I really want to read this. I so badly want to read it, but I just opened it on my Kindle app and I read like the first few sentences. I don't think I have the mental capacity to take this in right now. With fantasies, you know, it's world building and politics and all of these things. I don't think I have the mental capacity for that. I'm not gonna lie. My brain isn't as scrambled eggy as it normally is. I think because I didn't read any type of fantasies during this whole time. I feel like I can attack another book and I probably could potentially finish another book, but it's not going to be this one. I did say that I have another Alice Feeney book that I took out of my local library. I have Rock, Paper, Scissors, which is most people's absolute favorite by her. So I think we're going to be doing this one. I definitely think I could finish this in the allotted time. Maybe go a little bit over. I mean, if we have like maybe 50 pages left at the end, I'll still count it into the readathon. Maybe that can account for the little naps that I took in between whatever was going on. I think the next book is going to be Rock, Paper, Scissors. It says 10 years of marriage, 10 years of secrets, an anniversary they'll never forget. I feel like I might have started listening to this audiobook when I was in the UK and then I kind of either lost interest or I think my Spotify changed over to the UK one and then you have to start paying for everything because it wasn't free anymore. I think I kind of remember something about this. I might be mistaken. Hi guys, still same position, same place. Oh, this lighting is terrible. I'm so sorry. Let me try and move back. Maybe that will work. Don't know if that worked, but I thought I'd do a quick check-in because it is 4 o'clock now and I need to actually just make a call and I think that will interrupt whatever schedule I have going on here. I made it to page 96 and I'm on Adam's point of view over there. I think I have listened to this audiobook before. I don't know why. It just seems so familiar to me. Following Amelia and Adam, who are married and they're having problems in their marriage. So this is their last ditch attempt to kind of reconciliate and just make everything better. It was her idea to go to the Scottish Highlands, but they unfortunately end up going in the middle of a storm. They staying in this old converted chapel, but something's just off and it's really creepy. And if I'm not mistaken, I feel like both of them kind of have some sinister plan going on behind each other's backs, but neither of them know that the other one knows about this plan. They're trying to reconnect, but if they don't reconnect, they're kind of just gonna sever ties, I think. But then there's a side plot of something else going on. There's this girl named Robin, or this woman named Robin, and she's like spying on them, but I can't remember what her relevance to the story is. I can't remember at all. That's kind of what's happening, and the two of them have just settled into this chapel. They didn't buy any groceries, or that's so stupid. I always buy my groceries before I go away. Even if we like get an Airbnb, I don't get there first and then go to the shops. I always go to the shops first and then try and sort everything out. And I try and buy like stuff that can last, like rice and pasta and stuff that can go in a cupboard as well. That's just me, but they are so unprepared. They end up like finding a freezer with some frozen meals in it and some wine. Then the electricity goes off and she has an asthma attack because she's scared of the dark and she's down in the cellar and it's creepy. I can't remember the ultimate ending of the story, so it must not have been that memorable for me if I'm not mistaken, but I feel like I did listen to it. That is how far we are. We have 4 hours and 52 minutes left, and the call that I need to make is like for my diabetes. I have these sensors and my sensor just stopped working now. I went to go check what my blood sugar was and it just stopped working. I think I was on my mic. It just stopped working and it said said for your safety replace sensor. So I don't know what's going on, so I need to call the company to get a replacement sent to me. A little bit of a crisis, but I definitely will. I don't know, I'm so tired. I think I might keep like maybe 2 hours for tomorrow, and then we can finish it then, but I'm not entirely sure. I'll let you guys know what we get up to, but for now I just really need to make this call. Morning everyone. Where's my timer? We have 2 hours and 6 minutes left. Last night I was way too tired. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't focus. I kept feeling super sleepy every time I picked up the book. So I did like I said, have to read until we had 2 hours left. Rock, paper, scissors. We are on page 258. I think I have like just under 100 pages left. Less than that. It's like 70 pages that I have left. So I'm about to finish this morning, but I thought I'd just check in. I'm really liking it. However, I'm noticing a pattern in all of her books now that I've read a few of them, and it is all domestic thrillers with a really horrible main male character. All the male characters have done something absolutely horrendous to their wives. The wives are either seeking revenge or have this plot to wreak havoc. Now that I've noticed a trend, it's going to be like Frida McFadden, and I'm going to pick up on it constantly, but hopefully not. Fingers crossed that it kind of changes the more books I read, but I feel like his and hers is going to be the same. I hope I haven't burnt myself out on her, but I mean, it's been 3 months since I've read all the books, so we'll see. But anyway, I'm liking what's going on. I've kind of puzzled together what is going on because I was so confused about how everybody fits into the plot, and I kind of understand now. Wife Amelia is not, I don't think she is who she says she is, and I think he is a womanizer, and he's one of those men who just, fame and success is way more important to him than any of his relationships. So I feel like he would jump from relationship to relationship and find problems where there are none because he wants like someone pliant and someone compliable. With his face blindness, I feel like I don't know how to put it, but like with his face blindness, I think it's like a cop out to not read the room and read emotions, but surely he can sense energies. Like I'm not entirely sure about that, but his face blindness feels like a cop out, and I don't know. I don't feel right about it. I don't have much more to go. I think I know the plot twist now that I've got there. I think I did listen to this book, but I didn't finish it because, like I said, it was in the UK and my membership changed over from the South African one to a UK one while I changed my SIM card, so audiobooks were no longer free. There's like little pirate copies of audiobooks that pop up on Spotify sometimes, but they get removed quite quickly, so you have to jump on it. That's how far I am right now. I don't know if I made any sense, but I don't want to give away too much. This is everybody's favorite Alice Feeney. I keep saying Alice Feeney, but I feel like mine is still Beautiful Ugly. That's the best one I've read so far. I love that plot twist, and I think I didn't know her kind of formula yet, so for me it was shocking, it was surprising, and I loved the way she built everything up, and it was so confusing all the way through, and then that ending, it will stick with me. But for now, I'm going to finish Rock, Paper, Scissors, and then I'll let you guys know. We finished it. Finally, it felt like the longest 24-hour readathon I've ever done. It was painstakingly long. I don't know if it's because I just traveled or if I was just tired, or I have no idea. The books that I read were okay, but I was just extremely exhausted. Okay, let's go with the last book I just finished because I had an hour left, which has never happened before. I decided to start 5 Broken Blades by May Holland. I am thinking of doing another video, but it will probably be next month, and I can include this in it, so I thought I'd just start this. And it is a library book, so I like to get through them quite quickly. I am currently on page 33. No, I lie. Page 30, chapter 6. It's got nice short chapters in it. On my Kindle, I'm actually on like page 37, so there's a discrepancy with page numbers there, but it doesn't matter. So far, I don't know how I feel about it. It is based on Korean mythology, which I know absolutely nothing about, but we'd have to wait and see how I feel later on. I must say as well, the one thing I do not like about it so far is that we have multiple different points of view straight coming in from the bat. I think so far I'm on chapter 6, so I've read 4 different points of views, which is quite a lot to start a book off with. Quite confusing. We're starting to build a world, but I'm only 30 pages in, so I cannot tell you too much, but we did get a little bit into this. So do click the subscribe button and also the little bar icon for notifications every time I upload to know what I think of this, because I definitely will be reading it in an upcoming video. The last book I finished, Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. The twist actually got me. I was surprised. I did like the ending of this one, but like I said, all her thrillers are pretty much the same. They all have the same kind of outcome, but I liked this one because I feel like the person who did the wrong got punished appropriately. Not to the extreme, but like definitely got punished appropriately. Oh my gosh, can't speak. So I think for Rock, Paper, Scissors, our final verdict is going to be a 4-star. I did really have fun. Like I said, I didn't always love the letters that were being read and I didn't understand it, but once it all clicked into place, I appreciated it more and it made so much sense. I love her writing. It's very, very, very clever and I had a good time reading this. Then before that, we read Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover. Like I said, I thought this was really good compared to some of the other things I didn't like. Like, I didn't really like It Ends With Us or It Starts With Us. I didn't love that storyline. What was the other one that I read? I can't remember now. I read Verity. Didn't love that too much either. Then there's the one with all the paintings and stuff. Didn't love that one either. This one is up there with like Regretting Him or Regretting You and Reminders of Him. I really like that. I think for this I'm going to give it a 3.5 stars. I did have a really good time. It kept me entertained, kept me engaged. I did like the whole friends with benefits situation and then led to them actually staying together, which normally happens. I always say that in real life as well. Like after you hook up a few times, feelings definitely get involved, and I like the way this panned out. I like the little, it's not a side plot, but I like the reason why he couldn't fall in love. I think it was really, really valid and I really felt sorry for him and it really hit me quite deep. It's really, really sad. Had a good time with this. I don't understand why people gave this one such negative reviews. Daisy Darker. Again, the same thing with Rock, Paper, Scissors. I didn't love the flashback scenes, but once it all clicked into place, it made so much sense as about why we needed to go back and learn the sequence of events. The current chapters obviously were very confusing because you weren't sure if it was someone in the house or someone out the house doing all of it, but the plot twist, it really, really got to me. So another 4-star. Absolutely love it. I would recommend. I think it was Sarah Caroli or Destiny Sidwell who read this and didn't love it. I thought it was great. I loved the plot twist. It's really dark, but I thought it was absolutely amazing. Then obviously, as you remember, because you've just watched this whole video, for me it's been 3 days, but you started with The Hunger Games at the beginning. It's my first time reading it as an adult, as a child, as anything, because I never read it because it came out when, I don't know what's wrong with my diction today. I'm speaking funny. This came out in 2008 and that was the year after I finished high school, so I was in college and definitely wasn't reading this kind of books. I was partying it up in the club, so definitely wasn't picking this up. I did watch the movies, like I said, and I really, really loved the book. The movies are my comfort movies and I watch them quite often. Absolutely love them, like 10 out of 10 for me. The book, I feel I loved it, but I thought that the sentence structures were so weird. It was very short, very snippy, to the point. Due to that, I think I'm going to give this a 4.5. I really loved it, but it wasn't quite a 5-star, and I obviously know all the characters really well because I watched the movie, but I think it's a 4.5, not a 5-star for me, just because I can't put myself in that younger self reading this, because I don't know how I would have reacted. I think I would have been quite bored, if I'm being honest. That is everything. That was quite a few books. I'm sorry, the library books are all covered, so they are causing a little reflection. These are all the books we read, so 4 full books and a couple of chapters of another one, which is average for me. I didn't read that huge books. Like normally I read like a 500 or 400 page book, but I still had a good time. I had a freaking good time and I got through 4 books on my TBR. That's everything for me. Please do remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know if you've read any of these books, what you think, and yeah, I'll see you all in my next one. Bye guys.